All right, so let's get this thing started, shall we? We've got some goals for our discussion today. And what I wanted to do is a little bit of a tee up here and what we're seeing in B2B, what we're seeing in industrial marketing as I've, came to know it as I was growing up in marketing, which is there's really a transformation happening. And the goals that we want to cover today as we start looking through all these different goals in terms of the way that we'll organize the conversation is in context with what we see happening. So one of the things that I do with Content Marketing Institute and certainly on my own with my clients is we do a lot of research. And there's some really interesting things happening here as we look at 2025. We are seeing evolving customer expectations, right? So 80% these days of B2B buyers are expecting a B2C-like purchasing or buying experience. We are competing with the B2C platforms that are out there and those kinds of digital experiences. We are also seeing 70% now being open to self-service. How much of the self-service can we do in our considered buying journey, because B2B tends to be longer, higher touch, et cetera. We're also seeing the macroeconomic sort of trend of the experience or the servitization of manufacturing of B2B, where so many B2B providers these days are being expected to provide better experiences as part of what they do for a living. In other words, it's more about not just about how do we create a transaction with a customer full stop, but how do we create the experiences that keep them coming back, to keep them idea of subscribing, to keep them upselling and cross-selling into other solutions that we provide and expanding the things that we are doing as part of understanding that customer journey even better. We're also seeing, of course, efficiency play a huge role in terms of smart marketing and what we're doing with smart marketing. And as part of that, it's really all about first-party data, right? First-party data in this world that we live in today is becoming the gold standard. It is becoming the fuel by which we use to create things like personalization, targeted content, all those kinds of things. But in many ways, B2B feels like they're behind there. They feel like they're behind in their competitors. So is it something, as I often say to clients, where personalization and first-party data is kind of the sexiest thing that nobody's doing? No, it's actually happening. It's really happening. And we're going to talk about that too. And we'll also touch on this idea that we see a lot in B2B marketing today, the B2B skills gap, where we actually have to help and get help closing our digital skills gap. And we've got just the panel to help us talk through those things.